what's up? Jump into the future here. I got that cleaned up and painted, the frame and all. Did it off camera. Nothing really to show there. It was boring. So same about the engine and anything else. Clean it up, degrease it, whatever. Scrape, wire brush, repaint. Nothing special. So that's ready for the engine to come back in eventually, whatever that might be. So I think we'll get started on this to make these patches. I did get the material to do it. First, I gotta strip this down to bare bones, get this wiring harness off here, and plan out just how I'm gonna do this. At least want to get the patches tacked in place, hopefully made and tacked in, just enough to get it back up on there, and temporarily put the front end back on to get it get everything lined up where I need it and where I can continue building said area, because I got a plan on how to do it. And yes, I did see patch panels online, but I'm thinking I can make something similar, probably for less money, more time maybe, but less money. So plus it tests out my skills. So this first thing I'm gonna do is try to strip all this wires off here and stuff, get down to bare bones, take this, I guess it's called inner fender skirt off here. I already did the other side when I took it off, if you can't remember. But alright, that's what I'm gonna do. So, got that all off there, and fender skirt, and the wiring harness from the front end here. So now I think I'm gonna start on this side. For some reason I want to start on this side, I don't know why. Before it was because I had all that stuff on there, but it's about the same on both sides now since I took it off anyway. You can see how this kind of is recessed out here, or imprinted from the other flat, I guess you could say. And that's where the hinge mount would be, and it sticks out from this part further. Well, I have a plan for that, but first I'm going to make a flat patch that's even with the rest of this. You know, I'll get to what my idea is with that here a little later, but for now, because I want to make a template out of cardboard, you know, the precision beer box cardboard. At least that's the plan. I need this flat, so I think I'm going to take a cut-off wheel and cut around here to this part that's sticking out, so this is more flat. I'd make some marks here where how far I want to go, because there's a back piece here. And I kind of want to make everything even. That part, which I think I might use a thicker piece of sheet metal for back there, because that's a little bit extra bracing for the weight of the hood. So it's like double layered here, it's supposed to be. So then we'll go ahead and cut this off, make that more flat. And probably set you up for fast motion on that too, so. Or time lapse, whatever you want to call it. mark on here where every bend is, since some of them aren't, they don't just stay straight, they kind of angle. And I'll mark where they are. And, well, every stopping point where it's at. Mark where every bend is. And I think we'll mark this down here somewhere. I don't know if it's correct or not, but can always trim it. That bend, that's already bent there, but we'll mark it anyway. I don't know if you can hear me, but like I said, mark here, down here. I'll draw a line out here better. I'll probably just do that with a straight edge or something. Get her kind of roughed out here. Basically, I'm trying to get all the markings so I can trace them out on the new metal that I did get. Mark everything where it needs to be, where to bend it. So, that's what we'll do there. Pretty much all these lines, a lot of these lines on this box line up with where I need it. It's over here. Okay. So I'll get this all marked out, and I can transfer it to a new metal and get her cut out. Alright, so here's what I traced. I got everything marked where I want it. Top edge, I cut the rest of the box off here. Bottom edge, same thing, around about where I want it. Bend this. Yeah, so I'll bend this way, bend that way. So I'll trim this box off here and figure out from there. I might have some measuring yet to do and some cutting, but that's where I'm at. Alright, well, it's the next day, day before Easter, Saturday. As you saw, I traced out this patch panel here, cut it out this morning here, or today. I'm gonna go ahead and start bending it up. I'll show you how I go about doing that here, since I ain't got no fancy bender yet. Alright, so how I'm doing this, since I ain't got a bender, sandwich the sheet metal between these two pieces of metal rod stock, whatever you want to call it, flat stock. Same stuff I was using on the tractor plow. You could probably do this with wood too. I've done it in the past, but this might be easier. So sandwich it between here on the lines I want to bend. And I'm going to put this in the vise and bend it. I'm going to do the same thing for this top side too. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Alright, I'm going to bend this bottom edge. I'm going to pull the metal this way. So hopefully that's enough. Maybe too far, not enough. Take this back out of here, we'll go see how it looks. Alright, I gotta bend it back some more. Whatever, and test fitted it. Still needs bent more. Try to make that bend nice and crisp. Wonder if it's enough now. Probably too much now. Easy to do with the proper brake. Alright. See what we got. I keep forgetting to show you all what we have when I go test fit it, but trust me, I need to do it a little bit more. Should be just right. I'm still getting used to all this camera stuff, so forgive me if I forget things. Bend her a little bit more here. Well, that's what we got on the bottom edge. It's close enough. It's a little low here, but I think that's just because it's weak there from where it rotted. I bend that up or whatever. I think it's close enough. Now I gotta do that top edge. It should be pretty easy. So we'll get to bending that. Same process, just the other way. Going for a more square bend this time instead of like a 45 or whatever that is on that other side. So I should be able to just make a nice right angled square bend for the top part there. So here we go. Get more of a hammer. Bent that. Kind of hit a little hard, but ain't nothing that can't be straightened out later with a little dolly-in or filler. I think most of that's going to be hidden by hood hinges anyway, so. I guess I said that loud enough. Most of it's going to be hidden by hood hinges. Sorry if I mumble, but I'm more worried about being a solid piece and a super straight piece. So, see how this fits and take it from there. Well, I think I like the way that looks. Now all I gotta do is clamp her to her here, mark where I want to cut, and yeah. Actually, I might grind on this a little bit, clean it off, but wherever we're at, that's where we'll take. That's where I'll come back to you at. See what I get done here. All right. So cleaned off that metal there some. Make sure how far I had good metal too. I should have cleaned it off up here, but I can still mark it. Mark where I want to cut. I actually want to stay to the inside of these lines. Sorry. I know my camera skills suck. I want to try to, butt this in here so I ain't got overlap or nothing. Not that it would hurt, it would just not look as good, I guess. Don't lie, I used to overlap more. Well, you'll probably see what I mean on the next project we're going to get started on here soon. First, I gotta knock out some stuff with this, so it's done already. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay within inside, really inside that line, so there ain't no gap. I'll probably fail per usual, but we'll see what we can do. like to stay inside those lines. I mean, I know there's a way to cut it out to do that, but I ain't ready to try that on this just yet. I'd rather try it on something else, a little less complex, less bends, but but I'm sure whatever I do here will be just fine. So, alright, I'm gonna get ready to cut that out, I guess. Free cutoff words work better than I expected. Still a little sketchy, but I might trim this out here a little bit. Well, that's there. Clean up these edges here with the die grinder a little bit, and we'll test fit that piece. Alright, well, like I figured, the hinge was a little gappy after I get the old stuff cut out. So I'm trying to fudge it in here the best I can. Got magnets and stuff holding it in place. Well, barely holding it in place. It's starting to tick me off, actually. Yeah, see, just like that. So I'm going to come back when I got this clamped in here better and try to spot it in here so it holds. Well, got it tacked, started. See what I mean about gappy? This is what happens when I try to butt weld my way. Never works out. So the other side I may do different. I may do it, may overlap and flange. I'm not a fan of doing certain things that way, but Here it probably wouldn't matter as much, but I figured I'd try to do this. Be less metal work. So now I gotta fill it with little slivers. So guess I'll get to do that and bring you back to what I have or whatever. I mean, I think when it's all said and done, it'll be all right, but would have been easier if it wasn't such a gap. Some of that I had to trim out. So anyway, guess I'll put some slivers of metal in them really wide spots and continue to spot it in there some more. I'll be back. Okay, so what I've always done in the case of filling gaps like this, when I cut out sheet metal with my shears, or whatever you want to call them, air shears, pneumatic, you get that little tail, that sliver of metal right there. What I like to do, I like to hang on to some of that because it comes in handy for times like these. Straighten it out the best you can, cut off what you need. You had to twist and straighten and hammer it a little bit. But that's good for cutting or filling in gaps like that or anything else. That's why I see a mess of scrappy stuff on the bottom of my weld card. There's a bunch of that in there from years ago too. So, as you can see, I got a piece of that back behind here. Hold it in place with these magnets, weld magnets. So I got something to weld to from the other side. So that's what I'm gonna do there. Anywhere else I need to. Let me set you up while I do a little bit of that. because it gets pretty wide right here. So I'll probably just take care of this part off camera. I don't want to bore you all with that, but I'll show you the end result. So we'll be back. Hey, what's up? Jump ahead here, son. This is actually 2 days later. Oh, 2 evenings. Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and I already made a template for this side. Go ahead, start making this one, start patching it in, and then once I get them both tacked, I'll finish welding the rest of the way at some point. Maybe right away, maybe after it's already sitting back on there for a little bit. I'm not sure yet, but depends on how froggy I feel. So I did the template. I actually traced it out on new sheet metal here, using the tailgate as a table because every other flat surface is cluttered. Anybody else have that problem? Anyway, I actually traced this out a little bit because I kind of cut the template. I trimmed it off too short, not thinking. But I want to leave extra because I want to do this. I'm going to do this side. I'm going to try to do it the other way I was talking about, like flush cut it. I don't know. I'll show you once I get it out of that and get them angles bent. But I think what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to bend it, put it over this, and cut. Yeah, I had to mark it. Cut, I guess where this is, or somewhere in there, where it's still metal on there. And the new piece should fall right in the old spot because you'll be cutting them both at the same area. At least that's my understanding of it. I've seen others pull it off, but I guess I'll see if I can do it. So I'll get the compressor here charged up, get this piece cut out and bent up, and then I'll come back. Alright, I got that cut out and bent up. It's a little bigger than the area I need. And I'm going to try to cut on these lines here, cut straight through the other piece so it falls into the same exact spot. Same with down here. I think I'm going to cut this line. I originally marked that one, but it's too much. So I'm going to try to cut that line, but first I'm just going to crappy tack this in place to hold it there. And then it'll be ready to cut out. So I'm going to set you up while I do that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut where I got it marked here. Yeah, top line right there, and guess I'll set you up in fast motion for that, or time lapse, whatever you call it. So yeah, let's attempt to cut this out. Hopefully it works the way I want it to. Okay, as I figured, it wasn't as easy as I was hoping it would be. Got a little offline here. Didn't mean to. She started eating and she kept going. Yeah, old Zip Wheel Pro there, Dan from DD Speed Shop, he makes it look easy using them things. I'm still getting used to them. I usually don't use these big cutoff wheels that often. Yeah, he makes it look easy. So, anyhow, guess I just need more practice with them. Kind of figured something like that would happen, but I mean, I know I can fix it, but it just makes more work. So I've got that cut out. Clean up the edges on this, and I'll see what fitment looks like. So I'll be back then. All right, what's up? I started tacking this in here. This side makes the other side look mint. But anyway, I got some gaps to fill. Started doing it some over here. And how I'm doing that, you can see like copper on the other side of there. Or what it looks like, yeah. It looks like copper, that's because it is. I was trying to get the right tool to do it, but I've used this stuff before. Just a sheet of copper. And if you put it over behind a hole or a gap like that, it won't burn through and the weld won't stick to it, and you'll fill in your spot you're trying to fill. Now, I don't know if that only works up to a certain heat point or not, but it's just a trick I've learned over the last few years. I was going to get the right tool today, this week, but none of the local places seem to have it anymore, and I used to see it all the time. It's called a welding spoon, or copper welding spoon. Of course, I see it every time I don't need it, but... So yeah, I'm gonna continue doing this, I guess. At least fill the gaps and stuff, and get more spot welds on both sides. And I might set you up to show me doing that, but it's just a bunch of spot welds. You see me weld a few. It's just that same process over and over. You gotta move around constantly. Don't stay in one spot or you'll warp the panel. I may set you up for some of it, but anyway. Whatever I get done, I'll update you. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna call it tonight. I got it all tacked in. Not completely yet, but I got a bunch of that gap filling to do and stuff. I'm gonna take my time anyway, because these are big areas that you don't want to warp up. Warp this whole front end up, getting it too hot, so I'm gonna do a lot of back and forth, filling gaps and just welding it the rest of the way in. I guess I got that straight. I had to recut these welds here and pie cut that a little bit to make that straight, because it was like bowed the other way a little bit for some reason. That's as good as I got it. I mean, I probably could have got a little bit better, but I think I can work with it. So I'll probably work on this throughout the week here in the evenings, film what I can. So I'm tired and hungry. Haven't eaten dinner yet tonight. Not to mention I got a bunch of stuff to do around homestead here too, so got responsibilities. Just can't do this stuff. So I'll work on it when I can and update y'all. this when I can. It's Saturday night right now. Probably about to call tonight. Got most of this side here. It might be all welded up, but you know, once I grind it down, it might reveal some pinholes yet. But hopefully I can grind down some of these ugly welds and smooth this out some. I usually take faster routes, overlapping and just, you know, spot here and there, but I don't know, I've just been trying to do something different. I still got, you know, spots to fill in here yet. It takes time, especially when you're trying not to burn through and make it worse than what it is. So, you know, I got some welding yet to do, and then I gotta grind it down and see what that reveals, and probably fill in a couple more holes. I'm not sure, but I guess I'll come back when I got the finished result. I didn't want to bore you off making all these spot welds because it's a lot. I mean, as you'll see, I showed some of it in fast motion there, but even in fast motion, it would take forever. So, I'm trying to do my best to keep these videos short, and you know, not ramble like I'm starting to do. So that's it. I'll be back when I make more progress. Well, I'll grind these down more. Probably got close to about as far as I can get it ground and smoothed out. Have to body work it later, but this is good enough for when I fit it back on there enough to do the rest of this patch, because these patches, because this is only part of it. Like, I got to make the hinge area. The hinges work on here and stuff, and actually got to put like some 16 gauge on the back side there to make it stronger, because that's sort of how it was factory. So, I mean, this is just, you know, one step of it. I did shine my light through the back side there on both sides, found some pinholes, so that's what all them spot welds are there. So I want to try to make this as sturdy as possible with the weight of the hood and all. And this side had a little more, but hopefully I got the majority of them. You know, if this were any other panel, maybe I'd let it go and just let filler or whatever do the work. Fiberglass filler or whatever. But anyway, like I said, I want to keep this area pretty structurally sound. I can body work it later. This is close enough to where I can mount it back onto the truck temporarily to get everything figured out for the hood hinges. I still gotta take the old rusty part off the hood hinges yet, but that can come later. Grind down these welds here and move on to the next step, I guess. I don't know if that part will be in this video or if I just make this part its own video. I'll figure it out, see how much footage I got here, and film an outro when I decide. So that's where I'm at. Well, I think this is about as good as we're gonna get it, at least in this stage. I had a hell of a time taking care of pinholes and welds, but I finally got to where I need it, or at least good enough. We're gonna move outside here to clean up the mess in the garage area, and not only that, once that's done, guess I'll work on getting it over there and setting it on there for now. Not only to get ready to do the rest of it, But to get it out of the way, because I got other work that's coming up here, and some channel, some not channel. Not to mention the engine's supposed to come back probably this weekend. So it'll be back and forth, messing with that and this and other things. Gotta keep things on the go if I want to do this YouTube thing. That I'm not sure what's going on with yet, but recently acquired that. But disclaimer, I'm not trying to make this a small engine channel. I've noticed those videos been doing good, or at least that last tractor, but my goal was not to make it a small engines only thing, so I'm trying to get more automotive stuff. So I mean, we'll still mess with some of that stuff sometimes, but I'm not solely that. I don't want to be known for solely that. That's not my goal. So a lot more car stuff this season. So all right, well, I'm gonna get to clean this up around here and probably bring it back when I'm putting this on there. So that's it. I'm done rambling. Well, it's in place there, temporary, just kind of chilling there. Got a few other things. I gotta put the steering box and stuff back on. First I want to clean it up and paint it. So I had to keep this loose because I probably should have done that before I put this in place. So I had to fight with that a little bit. Second person probably would have made this a little easier to put on, but I got it close enough. So that's where we are with this video, I guess. So that's where I'll leave it. Come back on whatever I'm doing next here, whether it be this or the rest of that. The engine, whenever it comes back, whatever we gotta do with that. Still gotta order parts, but all the machine stuff and all that's pretty much about done. Update on that. Apparently it did need board, so I guess it's getting 30 over and probably 30 over pistons and all that stuff, so wouldn't expect it. I didn't think it needed it, but what do I know? So anyway, that's what's up there. So as long as I put it back together good, it should run all right. But there'll be a whole lot of back and forth here again between this, the motor, or engine I should say. Motors is what them godforsaken EVs have. We ain't about that life here. So engine, I put emphasis on engine. So so that's where we're at. That's gonna be it for this one. Try to keep some of these videos short and sweet. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. Definitely comment. Good, bad, whatever. I don't care. So thanks anybody who has subscribed and keeps following. Thanks for the support and all that. So appreciate it. So till the next one, I'll see you.